Good morning, and welcome everyone to the Trading Success Blueprint, the Beginners Online Trading webinar. My name is Daniel, and I will give you the webinar today. So before we take off, I would like to explain how the webinar is going to happen. So initially, we'll have just a quick introduction to the company, the AvaTrade, what we have in this facility, which is called the Web Trader, and of course, I will expand more as we move on. The second part will be more practical. We'll dive into the basic fundamentals for trading in terms of what we see here on the right panel. We'll speak about value, leverage, margin impact, spread, and the things we have here underneath. And lastly, I know that this doesn't happen a lot, but hopefully we'll have spare time. Perhaps we'll discuss a little bit about analysis, but no guarantees, because the majority of the webinar will happen on the second segment. It's important to know that any capital markets and trading information disclosed in this webinar is provided for informative purposes only and should not be constructed or applied as an investment advice, recommendation, or a suggestion. Now, I know that this is a very common question. If you could get the webinar, if you could get the recording of the webinar to review later on by yourself. And the answer is very easy. All the webinars that we're recording can be found in our YouTube channel, including this webinar and other webinars as well, such as analysis, fundamental, technical analysis, all kind of things that you can find a lot of content in our channel on YouTube, which you can enjoy. And like I said, we're going to hit the road with a quick introduction to the company. And as many of you know, we are a regulated company. We have 9 licenses worldwide. We are here since 2006. And in case you got a query or a question along your journey, you can contact our customer service on our chat, which I'm going to show you in a moment. It's right here at the bottom left. You can chat with us or through the WhatsApp, whatever you prefer. And if you're using a different interface, obviously you're not going to see the button here, so you can just send us an email directly to cs@avatrade.com. Now, this is for all the customer service, but what if you have a question regarding trading or something else related under the trading umbrella, such as any kind of questions about the platform, any kind of questions about calculations or risk money management or trading plan or strategy or many, many things that could be. So you can ask for a senior account manager to be assigned on your file and to give you full support through the process. We're not charging anything extra for a senior account manager, which depend on the eligibility of your account, and you can have somebody assigned through customer service or automatic after you've made a deposit. Now, and as I said, a senior account manager should be able to take all the questions under the trading umbrella, and customer service can provide you with assistance related to customer service. All right, now we're going to carry on with the web trader. I'm just going to quickly jot down the other platforms that we have as well, just so we will have it at the back of our mind. I'm sure you guys are familiar with those names. Still, for new people who just joined us, and of course the web trader, which we are working with currently. Trades trading app. So this is, like I said, the web trader. Don't worry, we are going to carry on with the web trader. This is the desktop version. Of course, we also have it in the mobile, and it's called AvaTrade's trading app. All right. The reason that I wrote those platforms as well is because this platform interacts with MT4 and MT5, meaning I can have my position being done here and then review on MT4 or MT5 if I want to, or vice versa. I can trade with MT4 or MT5 if I want to, and then I'll go to here and review my positions if I need. Okay, they interact with the web trader. Of course, the app, it does look a bit different, but it offers the same variety of features we have here. Underneath, we have our options. We're not going to expand about that. There is no need. It's a different concept. But of course, for everyone who wants to explore options, we're trading options currently and looking for a platform to do that. Our options is just so unique and amazing and very accessible, so you can use it as well. And Ava Social, I should say a few words. Main reason is this is a webinar for beginners, and the features that it provides can assist specifically beginners and not specifically everybody else. I will explain what I mean by that. When I'm a new trader and I'm unsure what I'm going to do or how I'm going to do or what I'm going to trade, of course, I have some doubts about my strategy. I can have a very, very good inspiration or even follow another trader via Ava Social. That means that I get to enjoy the same strategy that the trader is doing, and I will enjoy the notifications as the positions that he took. So the positions will not be executed automatically, but instead it will be up to me to either take the position as the trader took, which I'm again following, and I can do the same, or I can just learn and use it for educational purposes. Copy on the other end, when I'm copying another trader, then I also get the chance to review and see what was done on my account, but also the positions will be executed automatically in difference from following. So quickly, just to organize what I said, follow means I'm going to get messages with positions that I can take manually on my own. Copy means that I'm going to execute the positions exactly as the traders that I'm copying does, but I can also review it in my account if I want to. Now, the unique thing about Ava Social is that I don't have to copy exactly what the trader is doing, but I can adjust the difference in lot size that would make sense to me depending on my balance. Okay, so for instance, right now I'm copying somebody with 200,000 or 100,000, and my account currently, as you guys can see, is with 10,000. Okay, so it's likely that the trader with 100,000 take a position that my account won't be able to withstand. So how can we overcome this? Like I said, we can adjust. It's in the app. If you log into the app, you'll see that very easily. We can adjust the difference in lot size and decide, okay, I would like to copy the strategy, but the lot size that I want to use is such, which I find it extremely effective, super efficient to test strategy and decide if it's good for you or not. And of course, the app itself is free to download, so there is really no reason not to try. All right, so this is about everything I wrote here at the above, and now we're gonna carry on with the web trader, beginning from the left. Okay, let's just quickly close that and expand the screen maybe. Okay, let's just go through what we have here, and we're gonna begin from the top and go all the way to the bottom. Here are my personal details. In here is the trade which we are at right now. Then we have the positions which we saw. I can review my positions, orders, history, signals, which I'm going to show you in a moment, news, discovery, and additional platforms. So let's carry on with signals just for the time being. And we can see that as soon as we click on this signal section icon, we are here in the signals. However, there is also another way to access the signals, and the reason that I'm showing you this is because it's, as you can see, when I'm in the section, if I want to trade something that I can't find here, okay, as an example, let's suppose that I'm trading manually, mainly NASDAQ, right? And to find NASDAQ, I had to go through the list. I had to go down and find manually NASDAQ, or I can go to indices and then in indices to find NASDAQ, right? However, what if I want to find an instrument from the inside and I don't want to go all the way to the signal section and then look for it manually? Okay, so let's suppose I want to find coffee, all right, as an example. And now I want to know if coffee has a signal, and I don't want to go through the signal section and to search it manually, right? Because in here, as you can see, there is no search field, right? So how can we do this? Very simple. We're just going to type here coffee, click it, and we can immediately see that currently coffee doesn't have any signal. How can I know that? Because this blue lightning icon is what shows me if it has a signal or not. So for instance, corn has a signal. I can click it. It opens the specifications. I can expand the screen, and I can see that there are certain levels here: resistance, support. Okay, so in simple words, resistance will be higher levels than my current price. So support will be lower than my current price. And there are certain levels that we can capture on the chart that can assist us with estimating basic analysis. And thank God that we have the signal, and we can just see it on the screen and copy the levels if we want to. Now, it's important to know that what I did here is not mandatory in any way. I could just as much click on the signal, it opens, and then again, look at the scenarios. There is a buy scenario going up, there is a sell scenario going down, and with another one click, I'm ready to go. I'm just ready to go. 3 clicks, 1 to open the signal, 2 to launch the signal before execution, and 3, and we are good to go. This is that easy, guys. There is nothing complicated to it. Nothing complicated to it. Let's try it again with an explanation, and we're going to do that through the signal section this time. Okay, the advantage using it from here, the signals using it from here, not from the outside as I showed, is that in here we get the timestamp when the signal produced, and we can go down the line to the farthest that it was produced to the newest. Okay, so this is new signals, and if we go down, we can see how far it goes. Okay, so this is very old. All right. Now, if we're using it from here, let's say gold as an example, I'm going to click on view signal, and before I will expand, I would just like to mention in a few words, the signal is constructed upon a certain price with a certain agenda. That means that currently it's on a sell, and our take profit set to 26.33, and the stop loss 26.55, and the price, as we can see, is that it was analysis on is 26.46. Now, as logically, when I'm selling something, my intention is that the value will decrease, right? Therefore, if I'm taking a sell, my take profit needs to be lower than the current price. So if I'll click here on view signal, and I will expanding in the chart, and then I'll go down and I'll see the levels in here, we can see that this is in a sell type, and like I said, the take profit will be set to a lower value, which is 26.33. Okay. One more thing I would like to explain about the signals, guys. As you can see, the validity for the signal, the picture that we see here is daily. So every candle we see here on the chart is daily. But in here, if I'll click here on the upper left icon and I'll scroll down, I don't know if you can see this blue thin toggle in here, right? But I can scroll down just with the wheel on my mouse, and I can match the validity, and then I get access to the levels that we saw. But if I'll try to find the same levels in here while I'm looking at minutes, I don't have it. Right? Can everybody see that? We are too close. We are looking at minutes now. But if I'll change to, because it's too far down, right? It's too far down. So if I'll change to days, now same validity as the chart here, we can easily locate 26.33, which can be found here. Can you please explain what these levels are? Yes, of course. I should explain what these levels are, but in a bit later stage. But I will explain to you what the take profit and stop loss are, so we will know what the signal does, right? So let's suppose we decide to go with the sell. Click here on the sell. And as I said, we have take profit and stop loss automatically placed. All right, but Danny, what is take profit and stop loss? It's an excellent question. Oh, sorry, where is our notepad? It's an excellent question, and we will explain that now. So take profit is a pending order, okay, which stops the position with a profit when triggered by price. Stop loss does the same thing. Stop loss does the same thing, but it stops the position with a loss. Oh, automatically. I almost forgot the secret, the core of the spending orders, right? Well, automatically, I don't have to spend a minute by the computer. And yeah, that's how it looks like. Of course, I don't have to remember this because it's written here on the platform, right? But that's the logic. So that means that, like I said, three clicks away, guys. I'm not joking here. 1, 2. Of course, I could just as much go with the buy, okay? And 3, and I'm good to go. As an addition, I can customize the lot size. If I'm unhappy with the results I'm seeing here, possible profit 110, maybe I want it to be 1,000, so I can just expand it, okay? And then with a bigger lot size, I can make more. Of course, I can lose more as well, and I can of course adjust whatever I need just so it would make sense to what I'm planning to achieve. That's about the signals. Oh, one more thing. There is a situation when the signal has already reached the levels that we anticipated that it will get to, and when you get this message, the market has already reached a key level. That means that the signal is currently it's futile, and it's not going to let us let us have the take profit or stop loss if we click here. Okay, so if I'll click here and I will try to use the signal, it's not going to let me. Why? Because this signal has already met the levels that we expected. All right, any questions, guys, before we are moving on? Anything that was unclear in the signals or what I've explained until now? Please share. You teach us. Yes, I will speak about analysis, but not now. At the moment, we're just in the intro and we have to finish the first segment so we can carry on. But at the moment, I'm just showing the interface here, and how to enjoy that just briefly. All right, great. So besides that, I don't see any other questions. In here in the news section, if I'll go down, we have categories, super simple. Okay. If there is something specific that is not clear, you can elaborate, and I'm happy to assist. But I'd appreciate if you can be specific, and then I can address, what was not understood. All right. Now, in the news section, we have few categories: all forex stocks, commodities, indices, and cryptos. Again, you have to be more specific than that. Stop positions is not. I'm not really understanding. Okay, and in here we can have categories as well. We can see forex, stocks, commodities. Let's suppose we want to go with commodities as an example, and I can read what's written here. If I'll go below and I'll see 4 related instruments. This is the instruments that this article might be related to. And if I'll go through the articles here, perhaps it will contribute my analysis to oil, gold, Bitcoin, or pound versus dollar. Okay, this works the same way with previous market brief as an example. Well, it's at the moment just oil. Let's go with forex or maybe stocks as well. Okay, so if I'll read what's written here about Tesla and Pfizer, I don't know if you guys can see here. Okay, so perhaps this have some idea about fundamentals for Dow Jones, Nasdaq, or S&P. Those three. If I'll go further down, we have in Discovery a few interesting things. One of the things that I recommend you guys to use is, of course, Market Buzz. The reason is so accessible, and it allows us, if at the moment I don't have a specific idea to what I'm about to trade today, and I just want to read a little bit and enhance my fundamental analysis. So this can give me some sort of an idea. It's, as you can see, divided to bubbles here. Where are the signals taken from? Is it from Trading Central? Correct, Karim. Thank you very much for reminding me this. This is super important to know. Don't worry, guys. I'm going back in a minute. But as you can see, the trading signal, the signals are not from us from AvaTrade. We're not manufacturing the signals. It's by third-party vendor, which is called Trading Central. So does the rest of the things that I showed you. The news, as an example, also provided from them. Yeah, and as what we were looking at in here. Thank you again for reminding me. What we were looking at in here is, as you can see, divided to different bubbles. I can have it in a list. It doesn't really make a difference, but I like to keep it bubbles because it's just easier to identify. And then let's suppose we would like to go with maybe NVIDIA. I just have to click it. Takes me to this interface here. And in this interface, I can read all kind of things about the stock. Now, what if I don't want to go through all the articles and I want to Google specifically what I want to focus? So, as you can see, this is also divided to topics, and most discussed topics are partnership, product release, revenue increase, acquisition completed, and legal investigation. This might not be so good, but to be honest, this might be the thing that I will be interested in. So I can click here on legal investigation, and apparently we don't have any data, so let's pick something else like partnership. Okay, and then I can quickly pick the articles that I want, dive into it, and reach my fundamental analysis very quickly and efficiently. Of course, I can always go back and pick another instrument if I want to. All right. Okay, I want to show you different things here, but we don't have a lot of time, and I do want to, like I promised many times before, to speak about analysis. So unfortunately, we're going to go through the economic calendar and swiftly carry on to the second part. All right, so the economic calendar is constructed very, very easily. We have here how high the impact could be on the market, what we estimate could be a high impact event. Of course, I'm showing you now things that has the result already, which means that things that already took place. Those events already happened. Okay, but I'm just showing you the structure here. So this is the previous result. This is what we expect to happen. We call it forecast. And this is the result. I will repeat again. What has the actual result? are things that obviously happen. If I'll scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down more, okay, I'll see that all of this already happened. How is this possible? Because the date that we're having is on last week. So if I'll click here on, I'll click here on 18, then it's going to show me events that we have today. And again, if I'll scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, we have here this red line who separates the segments, events that took place, event that yet to happen, and they don't have any actual. Now, if I would like, instead of searching manually for an event, I would like to look for something specifically. I have here this nice Magnify, and I can just search for what I want. And if I want the MBA mortgage applicants for December, I can specifically find it and see that this is low impact. What about if I would like to focus only on the main events and I don't want to see low and medium? What I can do then is just click here on the high, and it's only the high impact event will appear here. And I can even specifically filter the countries if I want to, just by clicking here on all. And then maybe let's find something interesting. Well, it doesn't really matter because this is an example. Let's go to pound and assume that we only want high impact event for pound. And of course, it's going to show me all the high impact event. All right. And before we exit the calendar, I would like to show you a quick feature in here, which I think is just marvelous. And it allows you to book the event onto your calendar. And instead of thinking when is the event and when can I analyze and to start remembering, all you got to do is just to book it to your own calendar, And if you have a smartphone, it can even pop you with the notifications, which is just amazing. You can specifically go onto the event, see the result, and go directly to the market and do what you would like to do, depending on the email that you have, of course. All right. So this is regarding the economic calendar and everything we saw here to the left. I guess there are many other interesting features, but you guys can enjoy them on your own. Like I said, I don't want to delay anymore. I would like to begin the second part. Of course, if there are any questions to what I've explained now, you guys are welcome to share with me. All right, now let's find an instrument for the sake of our demonstration. And I'll be honest and say that coffee did look pretty good. So I think we can give it a try and see how coffee is doing. Yes, yes, very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Just a moment. Okay. Just a moment, guys. I would like to set it up so I can maybe give you guys some inputs as well. All right. So before we will begin, just a second, really. All right, great. So as we can see, coffee is very, very interesting. I don't think that coffee has ever been this high. It was higher. It got higher during COVID, right? I don't know if you guys saw the month. Let me just show it to you again. Okay, if we go back, you can see 2017, so those levels are not even close. Of course, it was much lower earlier this year, but as we can see, during all this period of time, coffee was not even near those prices. 141 was the max that it reached, and that was for, that's correct. So we can see that this is a whole new level. This is a whole new segment. It's correct that it dived earlier this year, but of course, this is an incredible recovery from 141 to 330. In percentage, I think we're looking at 65%. And yeah, so just to quickly recap to where we are at right now. Okay, and if I'll go back to our setup and just quickly adjust. Don't worry, guys, I promise you that I will explain everything that I'm doing here. Everything that I'm doing here step by step, but it will be much easier for me to explain to you while I have an idea in mind. Okay, think that we are ready to begin. All right. So to get the no, currently no, Karim. This is an excellent question. Sometimes I do use it as an additional layer, but it's very rare, very rare. But of course, everybody can do what they want. All right. So let's quickly just adjust this. Okay. Now, before we will talk about the market, it's important to understand how the toolbar works so you guys can have a nice setup just like you want. And let's also reset the lot size to the bare minimum. Okay, and as we saw here, we have the search bar. We can search whatever we want, like gold as an example. Then we click it and it appears. And then again, we can go for coffee, click it and it appears. And to enable the right-hand side, we can just click here on the column price, squeeze it down, then we can move it up and down. Okay, timelines, and all the lines can be fetched from here. And if I'll keep going to the right from the search bar, if I keep going to here, this we are already familiar with. This one is candlesticks or a line here. Okay, this is very important to enable the crosshair to get the data from the candles. Okay, like that, we don't get anything. But if we have the crosshair and we quickly hover across this candle, we see that this is today, 17th, 16th. Then we have the weekend, of course. Then we have 13, 12, and we can see one-day increments. In here, I can change the layout if I want two assets simultaneously. If I click here on the indicators, I can even add an indicator just by click and drag it to the right. Okay, and I can delete it by going to the indicators, clicking on the X, and click Save. Now, how can we make money out of this situation? Okay, everything has different scenarios, buy and sell scenarios, like we saw on the signals. But so we can start fresh. I'd like to get rid of everything written here and put the symbol of the name of our instrument. Okay, and we can also think about how to construct the position that we're about to take. All right, so you can obviously see that there are a few levels that I've marked on the chart. Okay, let's suppose that we're planning for a buy. It does seem like it's in a bullish trend. Okay, this might interrupt us, so I'll get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that, and get rid of this as well. Okay. And now, when I'm aiming for a buy, I need to think, okay, let's suppose that I want to take a buy now. I see the market is going up. I'm going to hit here to buy, and it goes up and make profits. This is the preferable scenario, right? The other scenario is that I hit here buy and it goes down, and then we are losing. Okay, nobody likes that. So the problem with the positive scenario is that I have no specific measurement. I have no measurement whatsoever. If I click here buy, I am jumping into the unknown. I don't know how much I can make. I don't know how much I can lose. I don't know how much money I'm using, anything at all. So just a buy, I think I'm a little vulnerable. But if I have, as an example, a target that I'm planning to make, and then I can quickly go to my positions and review, okay, my position has reached what I wanted to make. What I can do is just click on the X and close it. Okay, so setting a target will at least help me capture when I can close the position. Okay, otherwise, when will I close it? Nobody knows. Okay, which can later on help me design to take profit in the stop loss. So I can target, as an example, 200, let's say $500. Okay. I also, what I probably want to do is to capture a certain time length. So I won't hold this position forever, hoping to make $500. Okay, and also I don't want to close it too fast before giving the market enough time to get to the price that we're aiming for. Also, thinking of the timeline for my position can also help me determine the trading style that I'm about to use. There are three main trading style: scalping, swing, and who knows the third? Who can tell me the third? We'll write it down here. Correct. Intraday. Perfect. All right. Thank you, Matt. So we can also call it intraday weekly, right? Now, when I'm aiming to make $500, let's suppose that I'm choosing $500 as my target, and then I choose the time length 5 minutes. Okay. I'm not even going to try to do that, but if I'll put the numbers here that I'm planning to make, the shorter the time that I'm planning to make the amount, and the fewer movements that I'm planning to make, will require me to have a bigger lot size. Okay, we will, in a moment, we will understand that to make bigger profits or bigger loss, I can increase the price difference or the lot size. All right, so I don't want to go for 5 minutes because I think it's too fast. I mean, everybody wished they could make $500 in 5 minutes, and then 5,000 in an hour, and then 10,000 in 10 hours, and so on and so on. Okay, but we have to be realistic. So I'm going to go for maybe 1 day. Actually, 1 day is not bad. 1 day is not bad. Okay, so let's suppose that we would like to do this. And now the next thing that I'm about to aim for is obviously the movement or the price difference. The reason is, at the moment, when I'm looking at the market and it seems like a buy, this is second candle going bullish. We see that twice already coffee got rejected. You see, it got rejected, it went down. In here as well, it tried to go higher. Let me just put a timeline to it. Okay, in these two occasions, it got rejected by the resistance and flinched down to 290 and later on 312. Now, If I'll take a buy now, I understand I might get tangled in the middle if it flinched down again. So to take advantage of my buy, maybe I would like to optimize my entry and do it in the lower area. So instead of buying here, as an example, I can decide and say, I would like to buy maybe here. Okay. And then what will happen is I will design, oh, it doesn't turn around. Now it does. And then I can better design where will be the price that I wish to close it. So instead of buying currently, I will buy after it will reverse again. So it will reach that price, right? It might never happen, but maybe in this example, I'll feel safer than to take the buy now. Okay. Actually, let's make this one white, and our potential take profit can be green. Okay, and in this case, we can see that this $10 from 300 to 310 is what we are planning to achieve. However, how can we confirm this is indeed a movement that can happen in a day and not in a week or in a month or in a year, maybe? Okay, how can we do this? One of the ways is to enable the crosshair and go candle by candle, looking at the numbers, subtracting the open from the close and the high from the lows, making primitive comparison, just like the old days when we are writing the levels. Don't worry, guys, we're going to use an indicator for that, but just to emphasize what the indicator does. Okay, so this is open and close. Okay, high and low. So we can just write it down and subtract it from each other. And then we have the differences of what happened yesterday. However, unfortunately, if we're going to do this with one candle, it doesn't simplify any average. Right? This is just the numbers from the candle. So to have an actual average, we have to include more intervals, meaning we have to spend more time, we have to include more numbers. It can be good to do manual checking, but we're not going to do that now. Instead, we're going to add an indicator that will analyze the average based on previous candles. So we'll click here on the indicators. Where it says type to filter, we're going to go AVE for average. Then we click and drag it to the right. And then we can fix the length to match to what we are planning to analyze. And if I'll quickly count before the segment have changed, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. If I'll exclude the weekends, we're looking at roughly 7 to. Let's go with 9. Let's go with 9. Can change the color not to be confused. And we see that the average per day is actually 8.8. And we were looking at $10. Okay, it's not too far away. It's not too far away. And now I can ask myself if I would like to keep it my target daily or maybe per 2 days. Can also, maybe I'll compromise and say, okay, no problem. 500 a day might be too ambitious. Maybe let's go for 2 days. It's not bad. Let's go for 2 days then. Okay. So because I don't have 2 days time frame, I can roughly multiply this by 2. Again, it's not precise. Okay, it's not scientific calculation that we do, but we can assume this is also not a guaranteed number. Okay, it's important to understand that this indicator does not provide a guaranteed average that will happen. It provides a range. This is why it's called average true range. Okay, so if I'll multiply this number by 2. I guess what we're going to get is roughly, okay, let's do it with a calculator. Okay, it just might be a little easier for us. Okay. This is something I might want to round. Okay, let's keep it 17. Let's keep it 17. The reason is this extra that I didn't write down is a precautious. So in case it doesn't go all the way up, then we can still take some profits and we don't end up with take profit not being triggered. Okay, so again, to simplify, this is the ATR average true range. Because we targeted 1 day, we've noticed that the $10 is not realistic as compared to the ATR. It might be, but it's not in the range. So we decided to extend the time length of our position to 2 days, and we multiplied roughly the ATR by 2, which gave us $17. Now, the next thing that we would like to write down is the units. Units also are interpreted to lot size. So to know the necessary units that I need to make 500, all I have to do is just to divide 500 by 17, and then I immediately see that I need 29.4. The problem is that if I'll try to set here 29.4, it's not something that I can do because the increments here are per 10. So I can just quickly round it to 30 and it will work. Now, because I'm planning to launch the position at 300 and not currently, I have to set execute when price hits. Because if I don't, if I'll click here buy and I'll click here on the buy as it is, it's going to launch it by market execution. And we don't want market execution. We want 300 as our set price. And we also want to change it to the 10 that we are aiming for. So we'll go for 310. Now, the same calculation we just did for the 17, okay, of course, I'll write here, this is still the ATR, I still would like to have it, but this is the actual expected movement, okay, which we initially wanted to confirm, and we compared it with the ATR. So the same calculation that I just did, instead of dividing it by 17, I will simply divide it by 10. Okay, and then again we see 50 is the necessary unit. Okay, if I'll quickly write down the equation here, we can go target divided by movements equals units, or target divided by units equals movements. It's really the same thing. Okay, all right, and then we see 50. And if I'll place here 50, I can see that I can make $500 exactly as we've planned. If I'll take the same measurement, the $10, and I will subtract it from the targeted price, we can see that we can lose 500 as well. Now, if I would like to adjust it while maintaining my take profit but reducing my possible loss, what I can do is just to get the stop loss closer onto the entry. Therefore, if I'll click here on the plus to get this closer to my entry, my possible loss will minimize accordingly. And I can keep going like this. Okay, we reduced it. We reduced it like this by another $1. Let's go for even more than that. Okay. We really don't have to do this. We could go like this, and then it would go down by half. Okay, but you guys get the point. So before I'm giving you a few tips about analysis, as I have promised in the beginning, I would like to quickly recap what we've done here. In the beginning, all we had is the general buy, which we figured by placing the rough analysis levels with resistance and support. Again, as I said in the beginning, resistance will be higher levels than the current price, and the current price is 331. So our resistance will be here. And these are support lines that has visited before. Okay, so in here is an example, and also in here, okay, is an example. So this becomes the first support line, this becomes the second support line. We have even lower than that, but it's irrelevant. Okay, so with our buy, we decided to set a target. So we will confirm, we will know when this position can be terminated. And then we also schedule the timeline for this position, the duration. Initially, we had 1 day expected movement, but we saw that the ATR doesn't match. So we multiply the ATR by 2, and we extended our time duration instead of 1 day to 2 days. All right, which now match to what we wanted to achieve. Now, instead of buying it at the current price, we review the resistance and support, and we decided that this might be a safer place after confirming the reversal, depending on the previous second line of support. And we targeted 310, expected to reverse back to the same area that it's at right now, maybe even a little higher. As a result, we wanted to know how many units necessary to get the 500 that we want with $10. And by simply using the equation below, we figured that if we divide 500 by 10, we need 50 units. And in coffee, 0.05, since the lot size is 1,000. Now, the reason that I choose to, just another word about what's going on here, okay, to clarify how the leverage works. If you would like to know how much money is necessary to open a position, you can use the simple exercise to know that. You have price per unit times units equals value. You don't have to know this by heart. You don't have to know this by heart because the platform does this for you automatically. So if we look at the price per unit, 331 times the amount of units we're taking, 16. Okay, this is the value. And we look at the leverage here that we have. So we also have the leverage. Okay, and then our leverage is 1 to 10, of course. And as it's written here, multiplies buying and selling. That means that the leverage here will let me trade as if I had 10 times more availability. Okay, which means that I can divide the value by 10, and this is the number that we see. Value divided by leverage equals margin impact. Margin impact equals necessary amount to open position. Okay, this is super simple. The reason that I'm teaching you this is because there might be traders that are using MT4 or MT5. And guys, I want you to know that. I want you to know how to if you want to open a position and you want to know how much margin you need. So this is how it can be done. But if you're using this interface, it's done automatically. Now, a few words about what I've done here. As you can see, the coffee consolidated around 242 to roughly 275, and that was in the past roughly 2.5 months, maybe a bit more, right? But as you can see, when it reached beyond 275, which created the next resistance 290. Okay, this new segment here is a general buy trend, and if all for the long run it seems like a buy trend. I might be wrong, but let me show you the weekly. Okay, now you better see what I'm talking about. Okay, this is why I've marked it this way. This is why I've placed those levels, and we can see that this is a whole different level than what we had in the past few months. Okay, so even though the general trend is bullish, let me go back to days quickly. I still understand that if I'm aiming, if my position would have been scheduled to be held for a month, maybe I wouldn't wait for this reversal. Okay, still I would probably want to wait for this reversal, because when I'm buying something, I'd rather do it at the cheapest price, right? But that's just me. So it made me feel safer to place a pending order, and then instead of buying it right here, which could be a little, different from what I planned, I'd rather wait for reversal, either here, I choose here, but we could do this here as well. Okay, and this is one of the scenarios. So now you guys know that we don't have to buy or sell now. We can optimize our entry by different intervals on the chart. I could take Fibonacci confirm. I could add maybe RSI and confirm. I could have Bollinger and confirm. There are many ways. Okay, but this is just the really, really, really basic how to do this. What I would suggest, guys, is that you'll take price line and you'll take timeline, and you will quickly just review certain levels and averages until you get a better picture of how it looks like. And when you'll feel confident, you can carry on and optimize your entry. All right. I hope that the webinar today was not complicated. I really, really tried to push all the subject that I was supposed to teach at the same time frame that was given to me. But I hope that we made it successfully. I hope that you guys survived today, and you've learned at least one thing. Of course, if something is not understood, the webinar is recorded. You can go to our YouTube and watch it again in your own speed. And yeah, and I would like to, of course, welcome you to join us tomorrow to the live Q&A, which is a live questions and answers concept. You can join us, ask questions, and see the answers on the screen. Other than that, I wish you all best of luck with trading. Have a fruitful week and have a good day.